Indigenous rights in Africa have been a major issue for decades. With a long history of land disputes that have caused social and political unrest, Indigenous people have faced discrimination and marginalization in many African countries, often leading to land disputes that have had devastating consequences. Land disputes have been a major source of conflict in Africa and have caused displacement, violence, and poverty in many countries. In recent years, the African Union has made efforts to address these issues and ensure the protection of indigenous rights. The African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which was adopted by the in 1981, recognizes the rights of indigenous peoples to their lands and resources. The also adopted the African Commission on Human and People's Rights in 1987, which is responsible for monitoring the human rights of indigenous peoples. The African Union's Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, AUDIP, was adopted in 2009. This declaration provides a framework for the protection of indigenous rights in Africa and includes provisions on land rights and self-determination. It states that indigenous peoples should have the right to self-determination and autonomy, and should be free to pursue their own culture, language, and identity. It also recognizes the right of indigenous peoples to own, use, and manage their lands and resources. Despite these efforts, indigenous rights in Africa remain precarious. Land disputes are still common, and many indigenous peoples are unable to access their traditional lands and resources. Many countries have failed to recognize the rights of indigenous peoples and have not implemented the AUDIP. This has led to land grabs, displacement, and exploitation of indigenous peoples and their resources. In order to address the issue of land disputes and ensure the protection of indigenous rights in Africa, it is essential that governments take action. Governments need to recognize the rights of indigenous peoples and implement the AUDIP, as well as any other relevant laws and policies. They must also ensure indigenous peoples have access to their traditional lands and resources. Moreover, governments should create policies that support the sustainable use and management of lands and resources by indigenous peoples. Finally, it is important that indigenous communities are involved in the decision-making process regarding their lands and resources. This can be done through the creation of indigenous governing bodies which can represent the interests of their community and negotiate with governments and other stakeholders. Indigenous rights in Africa are a complex issue, and land disputes continue to cause social and political unrest in many countries. However, with action from governments and the support of civil society, it is possible to ensure the protection of indigenous rights and address land disputes in a meaningful way.